Let me tell you the secret. Louis Vuitton has many Chinese suppliers, but they just don't admit it.
Silence. That's the first thing you notice stepping into a Louis Vuitton store in 2025. No excited conversation. No soft clink of champagne flutes offered by impeccably dressed staff. No crowds jostling to get on wait lists for bags priced higher than most people's rent. Just stillness. An echo. And it's not just in one boutique. This hush stretches across continents, from the polished avenues of Beverly Hills to the marble malls of Beijing. Something's shifted. What were once buzzing cathedrals of couture now feel like abandoned museums, echoing not with opulence, but with emptiness. The velvet ropes are gone. The golden gates of luxury? Slamming shut, everywhere. But what's driving this sudden collapse? It's not inflation. It's not the economy. It's something far more unexpected. A secret TikTok accidentally exposed. Let's dig into why a $3,200 Louis Vuitton bag might only be worth $80. In the heart of Beijing, there stands a 5-story ghost of ambition, a towering monument to luxury's unfulfilled vows. This isn't just any building. It's Louis Vuitton's $200 million flagship, once heralded as the crown jewel of the brand's global strategy, a shimmering temple of opulence, designed to dominate the Asian market and redefine high-end retail in the East. Today, its grand marble floors are gathering dust, untouched by foot traffic or flash photography. No velvet ropes. No curated window displays. Just silence echoing through a shell meant to scream status. Originally slated to open its doors in 2024 with fanfare and fashion week-worthy spectacle, the project now sits in limbo. Whispers from insiders have grown louder, suggesting the launch may be pushed back until 2026, if it opens at all. Why the delay? One word: fear. Not of construction delays or economic logistics, but something far more existential. Fear that China's once insatiable hunger for Western logos, designer monograms, and luxury status symbols isn't just slowing, it's in full retreat. The obsession isn't cooling. According to those watching closely, it may be stone-cold dead. Yet, while Louis Vuitton hid away from its own stores, a revolution was quietly taking shape 800 miles to the south. And it all began with a single TikTok video. In a dimly lit workshop on the outskirts of Guangdong, a young woman casually holds up what appears to be a flawless Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag, its stitching immaculate. With a knowing smile, she addresses the camera. "We produce 3,000 of these a day," she says nonchalantly. "Price? $80. But don't tell the French." That brief video, just a few seconds, exploded across TikTok like a bombshell. Within 48 hours, it amassed over 12 million views. The comment sections flooded with a mix of shock, anger, and a sudden surge of intrigue. How could a $3,200 luxury bag be made for the price of a casual dinner? Overnight, the Neverfull bag lost its aura of exclusivity. It suddenly felt like a mass-market item, no different from a logo-covered grocery bag. Louis Vuitton's legal team quickly swung into action, threatening lawsuits, cease and desist orders, and takedowns across platforms. But by then, the damage was already done. The truth had gone viral. And the most dangerous part? It seemed entirely plausible. By May 2025, something unimaginable had occurred. Searches for LV dupes overtook those for the genuine Louis Vuitton bags. The luxury brand's aura of mystery and exclusivity was starting to crumble. And here's the most shocking revelation. According to fashion supply chain insiders, many of the so-called counterfeit production lines weren't counterfeits at all. Some were former suppliers still using the same materials, tools, and labor. In other words, the line between what was authentic and what was a dupe didn't just blur, it completely vanished. Let's break down the numbers, because they tell a harsh reality. Since March, the luxury industry has been losing value at a staggering rate, with $3 billion vanishing from the stock prices of major fashion houses as if someone flipped a switch. This isn't just a minor dip or a seasonal adjustment. It's a full-scale collapse. China, once hailed as the golden ticket for luxury brands, is now witnessing a dramatic contraction in its elite-driven market. A shocking 15% decline in just the first few months of the year. What was once a fast-moving rocket of consumer spending has turned into a chaotic nosedive, and global brands are feeling the repercussions. But it doesn't end there. Enter Donald Trump, once again making waves with a proposed 31% tariff on European luxury imports. This isn't merely a tax, it's a financial bombshell. For iconic brands like Gucci, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton, it's like lobbing a grenade into their velvet-lined boardrooms. Suddenly, American consumers are staring at price tags that no longer feel aspirational. They feel ridiculous. The result? That once coveted Birkin bag now looks less like a status symbol and more like an example of financial recklessness. What used to be a flex is now a cautionary tale. When even the wealthy start questioning their purchases, you know the luxury game. Even Hermès, the ultimate gatekeeper of luxury, the brand that turned wait lists for handbags into a form of social currency, is beginning to show signs of vulnerability. In a moment that would have been unimaginable just a year ago, a client in Dubai casually walked into a boutique and left with a Birkin on her very first visit. No months of cultivating a relationship with a sales associate. No subtle begging or spending thousands on scarves and sandals just to earn a chance. It was startlingly straightforward. She handed over her card, received her bag, and left with a receipt. For those deep in the luxury world, this wasn't just rare, it was borderline sacrilege. Behind closed doors, the whispers are getting louder. Retail insiders claim that Hermès has quietly increased Birkin production by up to 20%, aiming to meet a demand that isn't as frenzied as it used to be. But here's the catch. For a brand whose entire identity is built on exclusivity, boosting production doesn't signal growth, it screams desperation. When the chase vanishes, so does the magic. After all, the Birkin wasn't just a handbag. It was a myth, a symbol of status, forged from scarcity. And once that illusion begins to unravel, the entire foundation starts to tremble. Meanwhile, Gucci, once the shining star of Italian fashion, is doing something unimaginable. Slashing prices by half. Yes, those same $2,500 loafers that once epitomized high-class sophistication are now being offered for just $1,200. The discounts are so steep, you'd think the brand was liquidating its entire stock. Step into their Beverly Hills flagship, and it no longer feels like an exclusive fashion sanctuary. Instead, it resembles Black Friday at Walmart. Shoppers scrambling through clearance racks, sales associates murmuring about price adjustments, and desperate attempts to breathe life into desolate stores. For a brand that once made customers feel privileged just to enter, this is nothing short of whiplash. Over at Louis Vuitton, the panic is palpable. Insiders reveal they're offering Chinese VIPs all-expenses-paid trips to Paris this summer. First-class flights, luxurious five-star suites, and Olympic-level exclusivity. The catch? Private, behind-the-scenes shopping sprees at the LV flagship. It's a last-ditch effort, a luxury Hail Mary. But here's the twist. When your strategy starts to resemble a desperate travel deal, fly here, shop now, and save us, can you still call it luxury? Or has luxury, in its frantic bid to survive, started selling off its very soul? Meet the 2025 shopper. She's no longer impressed by gold-embellished logos or gleaming marble storefronts. Instead, she's scrolling through TikTok, purchasing $200 handbags from indie designers who show every step of the process, cutting, stitching, and hand-dyeing each piece live on camera. She's not looking for status symbols. She's looking for stories. She wants to know who made it, how it was made, and why it matters. That $5,000 Louis Vuitton? It doesn't move her. Not when there's a possibility it was mass-produced in the same factory as her phone case. In this new era of conscious consumption, transparency isn't just a perk, it's a must. Shoppers aren't just buying products anymore. They're investing in ethics, identity, and transparency. If your brand can't answer the fundamental question, why does this cost so much? You're not just fading into obscurity. You're getting roasted, called out, and quietly cancelled by the very audience you need to thrive. The 2025 shopper doesn't want your secrets. She wants to know your margins, your sourcing, your labor practices, laid bare for the world to see. Because clout no longer resides in Paris. It's found in the comments section. Burberry's iconic trenches? Gathering dust. Prada's stock? Down 18%. And Cartier? Oh, Cartier. Rumors are swirling that the branding, lab-grown diamonds, sustainability reports, and cringeworthy collabs with TikTok influencers. Will it save them? Or is it just a $10 billion brand, draped in a lab-grown diamond necklace, trying to revive itself? So what's Louis Vuitton's move? Craftsmanship tours in France. Blockchain tags to prove bags aren't counterfeit. But let's be real. The survival of luxury isn't about tech gimmicks. It's about answering one key question. In a world where everyone can peek behind the curtain, what's your magic? Right now, Louis Vuitton's biggest issue isn't empty stores. It's empty promises. The age of blind logo worship is finished. The new luxury is no longer defined by what you pay. It's about what you believe. So, tell us, would you still drop $5,000 on a bag in 2025? Or is the luxury dream officially over? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think this was a shocker, just wait until you hear what's happening to Rolex. But that's a story for another time. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and above all, don't pay full price.